Welcome back to another installment of Kingdom Things with me, your host, Ashley Nicole Phillips, spiritual practitioner, spiritual healer, spiritual creative, by the way of God, Goddess, the One, the Central Sun, the Most High, the Supreme Creator, whatever you like to call the power, the force behind all that is. So, humanity, we are going through changes within our collective, within our planet, within our galaxy, within our universe. We are going through so many changes. Changes that I'm going through are aligning me with my purpose, with my the energies that I am to apply and disseminate and create with, throughout this life to assist with creating the framework for our new humanity, for our new planet, as the shifts that we're going through are shifts to create a more elevated society, a more elevated collective, with an elevated consciousness, So one message that's coming through for me this morning, for myself and, for the collective, for everyone, from God. This message is coming from God, as I hope we all, take the time to, we all take the time to nurture our own relationships with the creative power. I hope we're all taking the time to nurture our own relationships with the creative power, as our relationship dynamic with the creative power is a mirror to our relationship with ourselves. Our relationship with the creative power is a mirror to the relationship with ourselves. I'll just leave that there. So the message that's coming through for me this morning is to understand that all creation, the lives that people live, those are all creations of God, of people of God. Those are all everything in creation is creation of God, as we are all souls seated with the energy of the Most High Creator, having a human experience. So we are divine beings. All creation is that of God. We are divine beings, therefore all creation is that of God. So I was dropped into my heart, dropped into my heart, and then the understanding that, why judgment is unnecessary, why judgment is uncouth, judgment is just not necessary where we're going. Judgment is not necessary where we're going. With our consciousnesses being elevated, we're coming into the understanding that we are one, as we are all divine beings, and the divinity seated in each and every one of us is the same energy. So therefore we are one. And even if we're not one, okay, let's say we're separate. Judging other people's creations, judging other people, period. There's a better way to use your own divine energy than to judge other people. Use your divine energy to create your own creations versus judging other people. With our consciousnesses being elevated, we are coming into the understanding that we are one, as we are all divine beings seated with the same divine life force, the same divine energy of God, Goddess, the One. Judgment is not necessary where we're going. We should all, if not like other people's creations, respect other people's creations, as everyone's creations is or are that of God, divine manifestations. So y'all, I'm feeling really good this evening. I'm feeling really good this evening. You know, these podcasts, I record segments that I amalgamate and publish as one podcast, right? Because I get different downloads throughout the week to put into the podcast. So I'm feeling really good today, which is a great thing. A great thing. One thing that I've been practicing is actively manipulating or changing my moods. Manipulating or changing my moods. So, you know, where our bodies and our minds are pre-programmed to act in certain ways to certain situations because of our past experiences. So our bodies and our minds are programmed to act certain ways because of our past experiences. I've been observing myself, and I've been really implementing a focus on prioritizing feeling good. I've been really focusing on prioritizing feeling good. So I realized a couple of things that I used to do, that I'm graduated up out of. These are some things that I used to do that I done graduated up out of. One, the things that I did my day-to-day was always weighed on or determined by what others needed or how others would feel, how I would think they would feel, how I think they would think about me if I did this or that. So what I did was predicated on others. How I moved, the things that I did was predicated on others. Like even like the smallest stuff, even the smallest things, like tedious things, like really drove myself nuts. But even the smallest things was predicated on how others would feel if I did this. So boom, I'm observing this about myself. And I'm making a conscious effort to say, you know, forget how anybody else outside of me feels. I'm finna do what I'm finna do because this is what I feel guided to do. This is what I feel guided in my heart to do. This is what's gonna make me feel better. I wanna sleep in today, so that's what I'm going to do. Forget no sleep, hustle, grind society that says in order for you to get to where you wanna go, you need to cut down on your sleep. You need to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning. No. Not me. Not me. Not today. Not today anyway. Not today anyway. Not me. Like I wanted to sleep in. So that's what I did. And before I would be up because in the back of my mind, go hard Instagram would be at the back of my mind. Like you're not going to get where you want to be if you don't get up and go running at 4 o'clock in the morning, even though you are super tired. So I am making a conscious effort to do the things that make me feel good within the balance of, my intuitive guidance. So what I've noticed about myself, not only did I used to operate and move, with weighing how other people would feel about how I operated and moved, but I would wake up and feel really drained and really low. That was just a normal thing for me to wake up and feel really drained and really low. And I was like, this was normalized for me. Waking up feeling drained and low, I normalized. And it just hit me because our brains and our bodies are programmed to act certain ways. And we normalize acting in these ways and forget that there are other ways to be. There are better ways to be. There are happier ways to live. There are more joyful ways to exist and to be and to experience this life and to create this life and to write this story that we call life. So the last 2 days, I've been making a concerted effort to wake up and, and be grateful, have gratitude for getting up, start my day off with gratitude and really mean it, and not just go through the motions of saying my affirmations, but really mean it and really appreciate being on this earth, incarnated on this earth realm at this time. Appreciate these energies, these high vibrational energies we're being zapped with, we're being hit with, because these energies, although they are bringing up old, sluggish, draining energies that we've been carrying around for decades, for millennia, to purge. That was one of the downloads I got a couple of days ago. Right before the 7/7 portal. I think this was July 5th. Yeah, it was July 5th. Again, my podcasts are timeless, but a couple of days ago was July 5th, 2022. And I was guided to do some automatic writing in the morning. So I did. And and what came out was, there are some high vibrational energies coming in to push out some energies that are, some old energies that are keeping you stagnant. So I did some automatic writing, and I got the message. There are high vibrational energies coming in to push out some old energies that are keeping you stagnant. And on July 5th, 2022, I thought I had it going on. I was feeling good. I was like, I'm leaps and bounds progressed from the person that I was even last week, even last month. I'm leaps and bounds progressively expanded beyond that person that I was last week, last month, last year. So I'm thinking, does it get better than this? I'm thinking when I get that message that, there's some high vibrational energies coming in that you're going to be hit with to push out some old energies that are keeping you stagnant. I'm thinking, wow, it gets better. It gets better. So, quick message. It's going to get better. Every day, expect for the next day to always be better than the last day. Have that expectation for yourself that tomorrow will always be better than yesterday. So, July 5th, 2022, I got the automatic writing. You're going to be hit with some high vibrational energies to, get some old energies that are inside of your body, move so you're not stagnant. And I feel it. I feel the difference. I feel the difference. I'm more awakened to my soul self. I'm more awakened to the fact that I am purposeful, that what I have to say matters, what I have to offer to the world matters. I'm more awakened to the fact that every day is going to be better. I'm more awakened to that there is a such thing as better. Things do get better. Things do get better. And to have the expectations for myself for things to get better, to be better. To be better. So the last 2 days, I've been waking up feeling great. I hope you're feeling great, feeling good. I hope you're feeling great, feeling good. It is the evening of July 9th, 2022. Again, these podcasts are timeless, but I'm recording this the evening of July 9th, 2022. I believe we have a full moon coming in 3 days. The energies that I'm feeling currently at this time are energies. So let me back up. So, we're here living, existing, being, and creating our lives, creating a new world. We are incarnated at this specific time in the history of what is. We are here creating a new world, making a new story for humanity. I have been, pulled back from the world, divinely pulled back from the world, and I'm super grateful for this. With being pulled back from the world, I'm coming into deeper connection and a deeper bond with my soul, right? And with coming into a deeper connection and bond with my soul, I'm able to observe and see the world in ways that I was never able to observe and see the world before. So it's coming into a deeper connection and bond with my soul. I'm able to observe and see the world, not only the world, but people in a way that I was never able to observe or see people or the world before. One of the things that I've seen in my observation is the way we as people and beings and energy, the way we are one, the way we operate and communicate as one. For example, I was having a conversation with someone and I felt this energy to say this to say this thing, and I was like, I don't want to say that. I was like, if it wasn't my energy. I could tell like it wasn't like intuitive. I knew it wasn't intuitive. It didn't feel like it came from my heart. I was like, I don't want to say that. And I said something else instead. And then I realized from the person's response to what I said, I realized what I was being ushered to say by the energy that came over me was in response to their energy and the way that they were feeling in the moment. So when we speak about telepathy and, with this new world that we're creating, these new energies of our world, with ascending to and expanding as human beings, when we speak of how we are not going to be able to hide our truths from people, how we are going to be communicating telepathically, energetically, I was able to see that, observe this happening. So when I say we are one, we operate and communicate as one. Our energies flow and, counteract and dictate how, we speak to each other, how we act with each other. And earlier in this podcast, I believe, I was speaking about how I no longer wanted to dictate, I no longer wanted to predicate the things that I did based off of, other people, how other people felt about me. So I'm going to make a conscious decision to observe myself and no longer do that. But I also have to understand that with us being energy beings, the way that I operate as I am a part of one, I'm a part of the whole, is going to always be predicated on the energies that I am encountering on a day-to-day, that not only includes people, but that includes, animals, that includes thoughts, that includes, objects that are also conscious, have consciousnesses. This is just the way of creation, the way of beingness. So, July 9th, we are about 3 days ahead of the full moon. I'm also feeling a lot of past energies, and I was writing in my journal. And I was thinking, you know what? I feel really great. I've come a long way. I've come so far, and I've expanded so much. I'm a brand new person. And I look back and I'm reminded of the energies that I've embodied in the past, of the decisions I've made in the past. And I'm like, I'm no longer that person. And I feel like if anything can knock me off of my kilter, can get me off center, even if just for a minute, it's those reminders of the past. So I'm gonna give an update, but I feel like this new moon portal, it's not a new moon, this full moon portal, these full moon energies, I feel like I will get a lot of resolution. I feel like I will get a lot of assistance spiritually, assisting me with not only knowing how to deal with past energies, but how to no longer allow these past energies to hold me back. no longer allow these past energies to keep me stagnant in any way. Stagnant in any way. And one of the ways that past energies have kept me stagnant that I'm noticing in this full moon energy is that I unconsciously / consciously express bits and pieces of myself depending on who I'm interacting with, who I am in the company of. So I hold back a lot of myself depending on who I'm around, depending on my level of feeling safe. And I will say I haven't felt safe in a long time. Even with just being by myself, I haven't felt safe. I've always felt like I've had to have my guard up. I felt like I was always in survival mode. So there's a lot of parts of me, as I am continuing to deepen the connection with my soul, continuing to deepen the bond with my soul, I'm uncovering so many parts of me that I forgot about, so many facets of me that I forgot about, and many facets of me that I'm just uncovering in this lifetime. That I am hoping this full moon energy will assist me with understanding how to embody my fullness, allow myself, at the same time, allow myself to grow, understanding that expansion is a never-ending journey. So I'm hoping this full moon energy, I will get some clarity, get some downloads, to get some assistance, some spiritual assistance with understanding, how to overcome the fear and anxiety and survival mode of feeling unsafe to be my full self. I don't think we realize how often we self-sabotage. Our lives are our creations, right? Everything that exists and happens in our life are creations of ourselves. Now, we can say that we want something. We can physically do the work to get something, work hard, to achieve something, and then we wonder why it's not happening. We wonder why this thing that we want so badly, we say we want so badly, we're striving so hard towards, we wonder why it's not happening. We're multidimensional beings, right? So we're not just physicality. We are spirits having human experiences. We have so many energetic qualities to self that we can't see, right? So I'm sitting here, I'm actually laying here, and I've been in so much peace. Like I think I said earlier in this podcast installment, I found so much peace, So I feel so good. Like I'm observing things in life that I never was able to observe before. I feel like, when Dorothy got to the Wizard of Oz and the curtain fell and she saw the guy or the wizard, quote unquote wizard back there, pulling all the strings, and it was just a man pulling all the strings. I feel like the curtain is falling, and I'm able to see the strings being pulled. I'm able to see life operating in ways that I've never been able to see life operating or observe life operating before. I'm able to observe life operating in ways I was never able to observe life operating in this lifetime, right? So I'm laying here and I'm like, I'm in a space where I'm being guided by my spirit team. They're letting me know, you've done a lot of work. You've done a lot of work to reignite your soul light. You've done a lot of shadow work to allow the fragments of yourself that were being dim to shine brighter. You're shining bright like a diamond. And but at the same time, I'm being guided to go within and discover I think I said this earlier in the podcast installment, to discover and strengthen and deepen the relationship with my soul. So I'm laying here and I was being guided to do a Moldavite Reiki session. A Moldavite Reiki session. Now, if anybody doesn't know what the Moldavite crystal, it's a crystal. Moldavite is a crystal. If anybody doesn't know about the Moldavite crystal, this crystal has immense healing powers, immense purging powers. So this crystal, when exposed to this crystal, you know, you have to prepare yourself to understand that any energies, emotions that are compacted within your being, that's going to come up. You're going to be purged of so many energies, and it's going to be a whirlwind, like going down being in a typhoon. It's that intense. This Moldavite is healing powers are that intense. So I was being guided to do this Moldavite Reiki healing session. And I'm looking at I'm thinking about it. I was like, do I really want to do that? Because I've done this once before, right? I've done a Moldavite Reiki session once before. When I tell you that Moldavite works, I was on the floor for about a week, crying and sobbing, so many energies, so many intense energies, my heart being cracked open. So I was like, I know this works for me. I know this Moldavite session clears up them energies. And I think that's a big part of why I am feeling so peaceful at this time, is being able to clear those energies with the assistance of the Moldavite. So I'm being guided to do this Moldavite Reiki session, and I'm like, do I really want to do that? Like, I feel really good. I don't want to shake things up. I said in my head, do I really want to do this Moldavite Reiki session? I feel so peaceful and so good. I don't want to shake things up. How many times do we subconsciously not take the necessary steps or allow ourselves to think necessary thoughts or embody the necessary energies to go to that next level, to achieve that thing that we've been working so hard for? How many times do we subconsciously hold ourselves back with these energies that are saying we're not going to do this because we enjoy this peace, we enjoy this comfort? Going within and getting in touch with your soul, yourself, strengthening that bond with your soul and yourself is imperative to come into alignment with not only yourself, but the creation that you want to create as a source, God-seated being having a human experience. While we are in the process of healing, as healing is a lifelong journey, I think it's for me coming to the understanding that a part of my balance in order to achieve a part of my internal balance in order to achieve that internal peace is not holding myself back, is not being afraid to move, is not being afraid of change. Because how unbalanced, how unpeaceful will you be if you're sitting in that same spot versus progressing towards your next state of being, your next embodiment of self? And on a soul level, you're always going to feel agitated when you are not where you, on a soul level, on a soul level, you're always going to be agitated. You're always going to have anxiety when you are not where you are supposed to be, as your soul always knows where you are supposed to have been progressed to, where you are supposed to be in order to be in alignment with not only yourself, but your creations that compose this life. So for me, it's a never-ending balancing game. I'm not only, taking care of myself in order to have peace within. It's taking care of myself, respecting myself, honoring myself, loving myself first and foremost. And as I step forward in life, in everything that I do, taking care of myself, respecting myself, honoring myself, loving myself will help to assure not only will I keep my internal balance and my internal peace, but I will continue to move forward versus being stagnant. So instead of saying, oh, I think I'm just going to do this, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to shake things up. I'm enjoying my peace. I'm enjoying my comfort. Putting my peace and my comfort and my self-love, self-respect, self-honor in my bag, picking up my bag and keep trucking forward. This life is a journey of expansion and progression. If I allow myself to stay stagnant, then what self-love is that? What self-respect is that? What self-honor is that? What peace will I have with stagnancy? Kingdom Things Podcast is a place where I'm sharing my healing journey experience as well as channeling the energies from other realms to assist us all on this journey of healing and self-love. But at the end of the day, yes, we are gods and goddesses having human experiences. As gods and goddesses having human experiences, we have the free will of choice. We have the free will of choice. So that's why it's such a dynamic experience. So many dynamics in this experience. So I want to bookmark this. I want to bookmark this spot in my life where I've had this epiphany, where I've had this spiritual guidance, as I am spirit. So I've had this epiphany within self. I've had this assistance within the one. So all of the energies of the one, of unconditional love. Part of self-respect, self-love, self-honoring, and my inner peace and balance is allowing myself to move forward and not getting complacent with my peace. Thank y'all so much for joining me on this installment of Kingdom Things. With me, your host, Ashley Nicole Phillips, spiritual practitioner, spiritual healer, spiritual creative, by the way of the one, God, Goddess, Source, Essential Son, the Most High, unconditional love, whatever you like to call the force, the power, the energy behind all that is. When you're done here with Kingdom Things, click the link in the posting of this podcast installment. In that link, you will find my literary works. The story of Asiyah is about a teenage girl growing up in a New York City foster care system. She, like a lot of us, is on a journey of reawakening to her truth, to herself. The story of Asiyah. And then I have my other half, which is about the eternal nature of our beingness, of our souls. Two spirits travel through lifetimes. They know they're supposed to create a life together. They know they're supposed to love together. They know they are supposed to be together. But the different programs and restrictions in the lifetimes and time periods that they meet forbid their love. They will establish a life together. They will co-create within their love. Which lifetime, under which circumstances. And to go with my other half, my literary work, I wrote a song called Remember When. I wrote and sing a song called Remember When. You can find and listen to Remember When on my Instagram page, on Kingdom Things Podcast Instagram page. You'll find that there. I want to thank you guys again so much for living this life with me, for being alive as I'm alive, as your energies are a part of the co-creation of this lifetime of mine, of existence, period. I love you. Love on yourself. Love on yourself. Have a great day.